Dear student, now I give lecture on methods of voltage control by reactive power injection. Already we studied the reactive power injection is used to control the voltage in the power system. Now we detailed studied about the methods of voltage control by reactive power injection. Now introduction about methods of voltage control by reactive power injection. This method is the most fundamental method. It is used only in places where the transformer alone is not sufficient to control the voltage only. So the many years ago, we use capacitors to improve the power factors of industrial loads. So therefore the power injection required for the power factor improvement is determined like this only. So at load of P1 kilowatt at a lagging power factor of cos pi 1 has kVA of P1 divided by cos pi 1. So you know the triangle, no, power factor triangle, that is the power triangle. That means hypotenuse is apparent power, adjacent side is the, that means real power, and then opposite side is the, that means reactive power. From this length we have to calculate the P1 kW for a load. Then if this power factor is improved, which power factor? Cos pi 1 power factor is improved to cos pi 2. So therefore the new kVA is equal to the real power P1 divided by cos pi 2. So therefore the reactive power required from the capacitor is equal to P1 tan pi 1 minus P1 tan pi 2 into kVAR is the unit. Now the question is why the power factor is to be improved, and then what the power is transmitted at non-unity power factor. So we all those things we have to study in this one. So the voltage drop depends on the reactive power Q, while the load angle or the power transmission angle delta depends on the real power P only. At unity power factor, if the power transmitted, then the result in higher line currents, which increases the I squared R losses and hence reduces the thermal capability. So the one of the idea place for the reactive power injection at the load itself only. So now the reactive power is injected in the following types only. First one is static shunt capacitors or reactors, static series capacitors, synchronous compensators. First one shunt capacitors and reactors. Shunt capacitors are used for lagging power factor circuit only. Shunt reactors used for, that means leading power factor only. For both are, that means created by lightly loaded cables only. In the both cases, so the effect is to supply the required amount of reactive power to maintain the voltage only. Then capacitors are connected either directly to the bus or to the tertiary winding of the main transformer. Tertiary winding means 3 winding transformer only. So it is what happened to minimize the losses and voltage drop only. The next point that when the voltage drop, the volt ampere reactive produced by the shunt capacitor or shunt reactor falls. When required most, that means the effectiveness of these capacitors or reactors also fall. Next is on light load, when the voltage is high, the capacitor output is large and the voltage tends to rise to excessive level. Therefore, some of the capacitors or reactors are to be switched out by over voltage relay only. The next, fast control of voltage in the power system. Switched capacitors in parallel with the semiconductor controlled reactors are generally used to provide volt ampere reactive compensation. Now you see the diagram and all. This is the EHV means extra high voltage line connected to the weak system only. The left hand diagram represents the system diagram, right hand side is the phasor diagram. So the system, in the system diagram, what weak source, the weak source consists of E1 vector, X-axis, ES and all, and then EHV line only is there. This is the receiving end voltage ER only. The phasor diagram is nothing but then the E1 and then the ES and then ER all are in phase with only, and then the current exactly, that means leads this voltage by an angle 90 degree only. Then the line and bus connected extra high voltage. So left hand side to weak system, right hand side to strong system is there, both are joined and all. So XR2 is the permanently line connected reactor, XR1 and XR3 is the switchable bus connected reactor only. Then line and transformer connected, that is the reactor. The previous one is the line and bus connected reactors. This is the line and transformer connected reactor. So weak system, strong system. So the permanently line connected reactor through, that means transformer, 3 circle is there, no, that is the transformer only. And then here also, that means XR1 and XR3 only, that means this switchable reactors only connected to the tertiary winding of the transformer, that is the third winding of the transformer only. 3 circle is there, no, primary winding, secondary winding, and then third one is the 3 winding. 2 transformer, 2 circle, this is the 3 winding transformer, that's why 3 circle is there. So therefore XR1 and XR3 both are, that means connected to the tertiary winding, means third winding of the transformer only. Then next, tapped shunt reactor. This is the 3 winding transformer is there. So the tapped shunt reactor is connected to the one of the winding of the that is the winding, that is a delta connected winding. The tapped shunt reactor is connected the, that is the delta winding of the, that means 3 winding transformer. Then series capacitor. Next one is series capacitor. Series capacitor also is used to inject the reactive power in the power system. So in this case, the capacitors are connected in series with the line only. The main aim of this series capacitors is connected in series with the line is to reduce the inductive reactance between the supply point and load only. Then what is the major disadvantages of this method is short circuit current flows through the capacitor. The protective devices like spark gap, non-linear resistors are to be incorporated. This is the disadvantages of series capacitors. Now you see the diagram and all. So Vs means sending end voltage, Vr means receiving end voltage. In between the reactor is that XL and XC, both are connected in series. Inductive reactance XL and capacitive reactance XC, then both are connected series, so the current is I only. Now you see the phasor diagram. The phasor diagram, we have to fix the voltages VR. VR is the reference voltage, and then capacitive voltage lags behind the voltage VR, and then the Vs with the capacitor, that means sending end voltage Vs with the capacitor and sending end voltage without capacitor Vs, both are, that means that means leads the voltage Vr only. So therefore IXL minus XC is the reactive drop, and then IXC also, that is also voltage drop at all. Then the resultant voltage we are getting only. So the current IE lags behind the voltage VR by an angle pi only. This is the phasor diagram of series capacitor. Then what is the relative merits between shunt and series If the load volt ampere reactive requirements is small, series capacitor all have a little help only. If the voltage drop is a limiting factor, the series capacitor is also effective. The total line reactance is high, the series capacitor is also very effective. Therefore, the stability of the power system improved. The series capacitors, that means reduction in line current is small. Then the thermal consideration limit the current. This is the little advantages, and then the shunt compensation is to be used. Then synchronous compensators. Synchronous compensator is a synchronous motor running without a mechanical load, and depending on the excitation level, it can either absorb or generate the reactive power. When used with a voltage regulator, the synchronous compensator can automatically run over excited at the time of high load, under excited at the time of light load only. So the typical connection of compensator, you see the diagram, 275 kV, that is the line, then comes to then VR circuit breaker, cross mark is the circuit breaker. Here we are using the 3 winding transformer. 2 winding is delta connected, and then 2 winding is the star connected, 1 winding is the delta connected only. Earthing transformer is there. Then AV and automatic voltage reactive we are using and all. So here we are connecting the synchronous compensator is there. So the 275 kV comes and all, and then that is step down 11 kV and all. Then here the earthing transformer voltage is 415 volt only. Then you can go to current transformer. That means voltage is sensed by the, that means voltage, volt ampere, that means automatic voltage, that is the reactor only. And then next there is synchronous compensator. This is the synchronous compensator connected to the tertiary winding, that is the delta winding of the main transformer. Already we studied the 3 winding transformer. Tertiary winding is always connected in the delta connection only, which is used to avoid the unbalanced current only. So now this is the voltage reactive power output of the synchronous compensator for 40 megavolt ampere reactive only. Just you see the diagram and all for your reference purpose only. How you see and all 0 to 40 and all, left hand side observe the reactive power, right hand side generate the reactive power. From the diagram you can easily understand the synchronous compensator, that means can be used to both observe and generate the reactive power only. What is the greater advantages of that means synchronous compensator is flexible operation for all the load condition. Because under over excitation heavy load, under excitation and lightly load only. So therefore the flexible operation for all the load conditions only. So being a rotating machine, it is stored energy is useful for riding through transient disturbances including voltage drop only. Then next is sub-synchronous resonance. So series capacitors are installed in series with long lines for providing compensation of reactive power and giving high power transfer ability. Then we are using the sub-synchronous resonance. What is the definition of sub-synchronous resonance is series compensator lines have a tendency to produce series resonance at a frequency lower than the power frequency. This is called the sub-synchronous resonance. The shortest notation is SSR only. So the what is the use is, that means the series capacitors, that means installed in series with the long line for providing the compensation of reactive power to give higher power transfer ability. So the sub-synchronous resonance current produce mechanical resonance in the turbo generator, high speed generator. So therefore which causes the following in the generator shaft. First one is induction generator effect, torsional torques, then transient. These three are, that means produced in the turbo generator at the generator shaft. These problem, that means have resulted in damage to the rotor shaft of the turbine generator. So therefore and all we have to compensate this one by using subsynchronous resonance only. So therefore we have to take, let Fn be the normal frequency at synchronous condition. Fr is the sub synchronous frequency of series compensated line. So therefore 2 pi FNL is the series inductive reactance of extra high voltage line at normal frequency. Therefore 1 divided by 2 pi F1C the series capacitive reactance of series compensation at normal frequency. Therefore K is equal to Xc divided by XL, that is the degree of compensation. So therefore the resultant reactance X equal to XL minus Xc. Therefore we can substitute the K value in this equation, XL equal to 1 minus K. So it is the equivalent reactance of the compensated line, capital X equal to XL into 1 minus K only. So now then we can calculate the, that means frequency, that means Fr. Fr is the frequency occurs at sub synchronous resonance only, that is equal to Fn, that means as it is square root of, that means K only. So the where K is nothing but what? Degree of compensation. So therefore subsynchronous resonance occurs at a frequency Fr, which is the product of normal frequency Fn and the square root of the degree of the compensation K only. So the condition of SSR can occur during the fault on the power system, during switching operation and changing system configuration only. Now what is the solution of, that means sub-synchronous resonance problems? We can use filters. Use of filters, we have to eliminate and damping the harmonics in the power supply. That means the various filters include static blocking filters, bypass damping filters, dynamic filters. These are the filters which are used to eliminate or damping the harmonics in the power supply of the power system. Second one is solution is bypassing the series capacitor bank under resonant condition. Resonant condition means what? XL equal to XC only. Then third solution is a tripping of generator units under conditions of SSR only. Thank you students for watching this video.